Guys, the A7R3 was just announced. Holy cow. What has it got? What has it got? Phase detect, autofocus. That's what I wanted. Touch screen. Okay. Dual SD cards. Okay. Doubled battery capacity. Thank you. No 4K 60. Come on. Are you serious? No 4K 60. Unbelievable. No 4K 60. Unbelievable. So many other good things. You dropped the ball, Sony. Very busy today, but the work must continue. But first, it's funny, man. Like, sometimes I don't feel like exercising because I'm tired and lethargic, and other times I don't feel like exercising because I'm getting stuff done and I feel really good, which is the current situation. Even though it's really cold outside. Do it anyway. If your house ever feels too cold, just go for a run outside, and then when you come back in, it'll feel like an oven. So, I have two main creative outlets in my life: making videos and making music. And it's kind of interesting because making a video is a much different prospect than making music. See, with video, you have all of these pieces here, right? And you have to assemble them into something that makes sense. Like when I'm editing a video, the goal and like the road and the path that you take is much more clear than just a blank sheet of paper. You start with something. I think that's kind of why I like documentary style, is that the subject matter is already decided. Like fiction is kind of like writing music in that you have to come up with something out of thin air. But when I make music, the only thing I start out with is this. There's just a bunch of keys and a blank page on your software. So I imagine it's a very similar experience to an artist with, well, a full blank sheet of paper. You just have this empty space and you can put literally anything into it. At some point you just start putting stuff in until something coalesces into something else, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna turn this into that, and I'm gonna go from there. And then you come up with something, and it's usually very uniquely you, but how you got there is still kind of a mystery. Actually, that was one thing I really loved about playing basketball and Halo back in the day, or anything competitive, was that at the beginning of the game, when it first starts, you have no idea how it's gonna turn out. And every time the game started, I had complete confidence that I could win this. Like, no matter who it was, at that beginning, it's just complete possibility. That's like an amazing feeling that you can do anything. And actually, a lot of people compare creativity to being like a conduit, and then God or whatever universal force is like working through you. I actually don't feel that way at all for music. I really feel like it's me doing it. I'll caveat that by saying though, that I am a product of the universe, so if you want to get technical, it's the universe that's doing it. But I don't feel like I'm just a vessel for it to happen. Whereas with video editing, because it has that like, these are all of your puzzle pieces, put them into order that you wish, it does feel a lot more like I'm just a vessel bringing what can be to life, instead of creating something out of nothing. What's interesting is that Adventure Archives is kind of a melding of the strictly video editing process of, let's take all these pieces we have and assemble them into something coherent, and let's create something out of nothing. If I edited the episodes with either third-party music or music we've already made, I could edit an entire episode in 3 days, maybe 2 if I really needed to rush it. But the way we do it now is that everything comes together at the same time. So we're putting puzzle pieces that are the videos together, but at the same time we also need to make music for it, and we don't know what music's gonna go with what part until the time actually comes where a finished song is ready, or at least the skeleton of it is ready to be put into the video. It also makes the video editing process much less straightforward because you can't just like barge ahead and say, this is the song I'm using, I'm gonna edit to this, and it's gonna be done. Like I did a video for the High Banks Park video, which you guys will see really soon. And I used all music we had already written. I edited it in 1 day, maybe 2 days. And it was easy. But when you have those two processes going at the same time, it makes it take a lot longer. But I also think it makes it a lot better because each piece of music is tailored to each scene and it has this cohesiveness about it. Plus, I also think there's something to be said for spending a lot of time with one video to where you get so familiar with it that you make better editing decisions of like, this should be taken out, this needs to be added in, that needs to be changed in order. There's a lot of birds outside. But anyways, with all that being said, it's time to write more music. Okay. Another very full day of working on the episode. It's 10:36 p.m. I've been working on it since maybe 10 a.m. That was a good 12-hour day. Think it's coming along well. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day. See you tomorrow.
It's just like, how do you feel?
Okay, no, I can't do this.